Today, I'm gonna do the activity 5 art criticism. My art criticism titled Face-to-Face Classes Description. Rini Aranda, an artist of this editorial cartoon Face-to-Face Classes, which he depicts the difficulties being encountered by students and blended learning, and also the dedication of students to go back to face-to-face classes even there's in is the threat of COVID-19. It is possible to get sick. Also, this editorial cartoon is made so that people can see the importance of avoiding COVID-19 and not sacrificing their child to face-to-face classes. Analysis. When analyzing this editorial cartoon, the U is more on white, which is more described as students ready for the new normal in school policy. On the other, can be described as darker, the coronavirus, because it causes fear for the parents to let their children go to school in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, when it comes to principles of this art, it is symmetrical, means that both sides of something are identical, then it should be easy to learn that. However, it explains the persistence of students to have face-to-face classes, which can also be seen in the face of student. President Duterte has said there will be no face-to-face classes until the COVID-19 vaccine becomes available. On the cartoon, who have same hue and patterns in are depicted as Filipino students always ready. Unfortunately, it can be seen at the editorial cartoon. The hue of coronavirus is darker. It means he will bring something dangerous to child's health. To give a brief, I believe the artists make this editorial cartoon with a different contrast and emphasizes, demonstrating to us the difficulties encountered by Filipino students in blended learning. Interpretation. To interpret based on my analyzations, overall COVID-19 pandemic spread all over the world. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to a dramatic loss of human life worldwide and presents an unprecedented challenge to public health, food systems in the world of work. COVID has not just impacted students' social lives, however, but also their education. For most students, learning has been largely moved to online. COVID-19 vaccination has substantially altered the course of the pandemic, saving tens of millions of lives globally. This is really illustrates the challenges encountered by Filipino people in the midst of the pandemic. COVID-19 has affected especially Filipino children's schooling. It causes fear for the parents to let their children go to school in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, which is fitted in the title of the editorial cartoons, which are depicted the Filipino students' dedication to go back to school to face-to-face classes, even there is a possibility that they will be infected with the disease. Judgment. This work of editorial cartoon conveys the meaning of the title Face-to-Face Classes. When I first looked it, this amazed me. Nice elaboration on of ideas based on the editorial cartoon. We Filipino, especially as students, are experiencing this COVID-19 pandemic. Suspension of face-to-face class instruction in schools during the COVID-19 pandemic has led to concerns about consequences for students' learning. All students encountered difficulties in blended learning. Face-to-face classes suspended. Vaccines become available, but again, the editorial cartoon also explains how we Filipino people, especially as students, come together and unite. COVID-19 vaccine also help us to go back to the normal life.